Hey, it's Ollie here from roastmylandingpage.com, and today I am going to roast the landing page of Gumroad.com. So Gumroad is a service to help creators sell products. I think it's mainly focused on digital products, and they have redesigned the website or the landing page, and it's an incredibly bold and out there design. So I thought what I would do is just over the next few minutes point out some of the things they've done, why I think they may have done them, the ideas I like and what I don't like. And broadly, I'm going to be discussing these concepts in the context of conversion. So turning more of the visitors to the website into people signing up, into those users activating, so listing a product and actually selling. So that's what I do. I've done about 500 landing page roasts, mainly on SaaS and e-commerce, and I'm going to go and do that for Gumroad now. So obviously this is an incredibly bold and out there design. And just before I go into some of the details, I normally say to people, especially earlier stage businesses, don't break design patterns and rules. So lots of SaaS landing pages look and feel quite similar. And that's by design. It's because people expect to see certain things on a page and expect pages to work in a certain way. And when they do, the user isn't met with any friction. They can just go through the site as they would expect to. So when you start doing something really bold, I do appreciate it from a design aesthetic, but I do wonder how the user who isn't really as interested in the user experience or the design aesthetic as potentially your team is, actually works through that. So let's just go through and point a few things out. So obviously we've got the massive Gumroad logo along the top, and then here we have the menu for the core areas and your call to action. So a couple of things that I can immediately say to you is landing pages are meant to be centered on the visitor, not the brand. So although this looks so bold and I love the palette, it is just really odd to me to have Gumroad as the center of the page. Well, it's not the center, but the lead on the page, rather than the visitor and their problem. The other thing is that start selling call to action over here is really lost there. So I don't think it stands out particularly, and it's quite rare to see a black call to action, relatively rare. I have collected the call to action color on 100 landing pages for a lead magnet I created, and white text on black's relatively rare. But let's keep going. Go from $0 to $1. With Gumroad, anyone can earn their first dollar online. Just start with what you know, see what sticks, and get paid. It's that easy. So I kind of like this concept of focusing on the user who wants to go from nothing to their first dollar and then presumably beyond. They're not just trying to get you to $1, but they want you to ideally, I suppose, make a lifestyle business or a full-time business out of it. But that phrase is also quite familiar, you know, the 0 to 1 and celebrating the first dollar. So I think that ties quite well into potentially some of the way the buyer personas think about earning money online. What I would say is that before the first call to action, there isn't really an explanation of what the product is in simple, plain language. So it does say what you can do with it, but it doesn't actually say what it is. So it's quite a big ask to ask someone to sign up, to give their email and other details before I actually know specifically what do I get? What is the tool made up of? Is it a platform? You know, is it a telephone number? Is it a thing like QVC? I mean, I know it isn't these things, but you need to use plain language. So here you're going into a sign-up form which talks about the 100,000 creators and the money they've made. These quantifications are good forms of social proof. So I think that's actually quite nice. Traditionally, I would have probably wanted to see those quantifications which lend authority and proof on the landing page. I think what they're trying to do here is really build a culture. So some brands almost like they come from a point of a mission. So here it's really about what sticks, see what sticks, see what sticks. And over here you've got this image of one of their sellers who sells brushes on Procreate, or Procreate brushes. So it's a visualization, but I think for a lot of people here, they're probably looking to see the tool and the function potentially. I also wonder why not use a little bit of a testimonial for this person, which would have added some social proof rather than just using her as an example. So let's keep going. You know, all those great ideas you have, we want to try them, lots of them, and find out what works. So this page is really focused on almost like their philosophy. It's educating you that if you are going to sell online, you should do it in this certain way. So if you subscribe to this belief system, starting small, learn quickly, get better together, this kind of iterative cycle, then this tight, almost agile sort of product development cycle, then you will probably align with this page and say, hey, that's what I believe, or that makes a lot of sense to me. So I think that could lead to higher conversion. I absolutely love all the visual execution, but it's just really out there. Don't take risks, that's scary. Play small bets, that's exciting. So again, this kind of approach, instead of selling a book, start by selling a blog post. Looks amazing. I would say this is educating the visitor. So it's saying, you know what, if you are going to sell online, it's not as complicated as it sounds. There is a way to do it in a more lean, or to have a more lean approach, and this is what we suggest. Exciting. So it looks good. I don't know though, it just misses so much of the basics of addressing doubts, because users will be having a lot of doubts, giving me literal examples rather than abstract concepts. I mean, I suppose you could say that is it, but I don't see the product here yet. I don't see a list of any of the features. I don't really see much benefits language. I don't see comparisons with competitors. So it's really focused on the mission, and I do think another page like that is called buymeacoffee.com, which you may be familiar with. Anyway, make your own road. There's a lot of language on this page that is creative, inventive, but not plain. So Unbounce have a report on clarity on a landing page. It leads to higher conversion. Fewer words, easier reading age, aligns with higher conversion. There's a lot of language on here that isn't easily interpreted if English wasn't your first language, for example. Whether you need more balance, flexibility, or just a different gig, we make it easier to chart a new path. You don't have to be a tech expert or even understand how to start a business. You just got to take what you know and sell it. Cool, more educationally type content. Again, have you even told me 5 examples of things I can sell on here, how quickly I can set something up, how much it costs? It just feels so on the education side. I don't want to sound like I'm moaning here, but it's just something to consider when you break rules. Are you missing some basics? Sell anything. Okay, here we're now going into some more specifics, which is what I just mentioned. So video lessons, monthly subscription, physical products, whatever. Gumroad was created to help you experiment with all kinds of ideas and formats. That I would like to see further up. Sell your top 10 list, sell your crypto tips, sell your fractal pack, sell your keto cookbook, sell your C4D scenes, sell your new emojis. Seriously, sell anything. Okay, cool. It's quite amusing what they've done here as well, because I would say that most things that are sold on this platform are probably a little bit drier than what they've listed here. Not to say it's bad content, but they're using unique concepts here just to show the breadth of things you can sell. So I like that. This is a testimonial, so we call it social proof. Weirdly, they've got another person who sells something that is related to Procreate, which I guess is some sort of design tool. But well, that's odd to me. I launched backpacks as an experimental side gig, but within 2 years, those Procreate brushes were earning more than my 6-figure salary in CG. Leaving in favor of Gumroad enable. Yeah, it's too long, basically, so keep it nice and short. Maybe have more of them potentially, but I do like that we've got a job, a name, the business that they run, and a picture. This is a good, rich testimonial, but potentially I'd make it more scannable. Sell to anyone. Build a loyal following with simple posts, email newsletters, and automated workflows. Plus, let your customers pay what they want or choose between one-time recurring. Okay, cool. This is just a big block of text to basically say that you can sell different things. You can sell to different people, and there's different types of payment. Okay, here we go. Another one. So that's good. I think they could be more scannable. And now we see some use cases. So they're using that same design pattern from earlier, but now it's being used slightly differently. honestly, I would kill that and use that up there, just because one of the first questions people will have is, can I sell the thing that I make? I'm a creator, can I sell that? And here we start to get a bit more literal. So you're showing people visually, you're going to have a profile. It's going to be able to be embedded or part of your website. I guess that's what this is indicating. Or maybe it's comparing here. To be honest, I'm not even sure. So I think there's a lack of clarity in these images. But here it says, create and customize your storefront with our all-in-one platform, or choose to use your personal site instead. With Zapier, you can seamlessly connect your Gumroad account to thousands of apps in your current stack. Okay, I see what it's saying here. Honestly, these blocks of text, I imagine this is a design thing. I would much prefer to see maybe some benefits language. So sell anywhere is kind of benefitsy, or drive revenue by selling where your customers are. And then maybe using this heading section or subheading section followed by some bullet points to just pull out some of the features. So you're tying the benefits and features together. So we have another testimonial here. It's a very spaced out page. I don't have a problem with that at all. And then we have this quantification, which is a bit similar to the one that I saw earlier when I went through to the sign up flow. So quantifications are good. I mean, a lot of numbers used in an abstract sense doesn't have as much meaning, but what you're trying to say here is, there are people like you on here. We are generating money. You can trust us. We are an established platform. So I like that. Okay, it's just a picture of a person on a phone seeing that they've got sales. To be honest, I actually like this visual. This visual really reminds me of this pop culture in tech meme, which is to share your screen grab of all your sales coming through. So I actually don't disagree with this, and I wonder if that would work in the hero as well, because this is an emotional moment. It's that moment of sales coming through. It seems odd that this says new sale here and this says neat. I mean, not to tear into the images too much, but I would rather see like a list of new sales coming through and then the voice thing says neat. I don't think the person should be saying new sale. It should be notifications coming through on the phone. Now, it does sound like hypercritical, but what I'm saying is when you brief your illustrator, make sure you know the story you want that illustration to tell and it's consistent with your message on the page. Okay, start free, pay less as you grow. This means pay less as you grow per transaction. Obviously, your total will be higher. So again, we're using slightly confusing language here because that isn't really what happens. When I sell more, I am going to pay more. I'll pay less per transaction. I think that's right. Lifetime revenue milestones. Oh, maybe not. This is an odd pricing model potentially, but I'll just skip past this. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but let's have a look at this. More breaks, more calm, more money in your pocket. We used to think differently, like what's in it for us, but then we discovered some things are more important than money. Yeah. Loads of we language. It's all about Gumroad. Cool, guys. You're a great company, it seems like, but this is very centered on you and not the person. And I know that this bold copywriting claim of like, we used to think like this, now we switched. I don't like it. I wouldn't bother of doing that. Yeah, Gumroad University. So independent doesn't mean alone. Again, a bit of an abstract heading. What they're actually saying is that they have a lot of resources that you can work with. It is nice that there are headings. It does help with scannability, but at some points I would just use a benefits based heading using plain language. So drive your revenue with the support of the community, or 10,000 community resources and assets to help you get started more quickly. Get access to courses, challenges, podcasts, and learn firsthand how others built their online business. Cool. And then earn from our mistakes. There's no perfect business, just lots of attempts. I am really moaning now, but I'm just finding it like a armchair inspo post. It feels a little bit like reading Instagram and a post comes up saying, be who you want to be, not who you're told you should be, or some bullshit like that. So I'm not saying it's terribly written. It just feels like so pontificating without any granularity around, you know, the product, the doubts that people may be having that normally need to be addressed, an understanding of the flow, a more literal example of my profile, or actually a link to an example profile. This is content. The design aesthetic is beautiful, but yeah, this is some content marketing. And then share your work. Okay, someone out there needs it. I quite like that. It's on them. It's saying, you know, you do have value. So at times, I guess the inspirational tone is nice, but I'm a bit thrown by it. It's a little bit sickly. I did like this call to action. Subscribe to get tips and tactics to grow the way you want. So it's all about using benefits language. So you're going to grow your business the way you want, and how you're going to do that is with their tips and tactics, and how you're going to do that is by subscribing. And so rather than just saying join our list or get our news, it's really focused there on growing your business the way you want, which actually is quite a nice benefits headline that could be considered up here. So grow your business in the way you want to grow it, with the products you want to sell. But there are some nice concepts on this page, and it definitely does look good. I would just say broadly, some of my doubt is just how it centers around Gumroad over the visitor. Now, a big change like this that is very abstract and probably outside some of the design patterns we see should definitely have been tested. So my assumption, I don't know, but my assumption is there was some testing. They didn't just tear up the old page and stick this in, because when you're driving a large amount of traffic to your site through your marketing time and your marketing spend, even small changes in conversion lead to like massive differences in annual recurring revenue. So I really hope they did test this. Basecamp have a really famous story where they didn't test a landing page change, and it did have a really significant negative impact on conversion. If you want to know more about what I do, you can check out roastmylandingpage.com. And I hope I made you think about landing pages in a slightly different way, even if it did sound like I'm just a moaner. I actually do respect people doing brave and bold things digitally. So on that note, or in that context, well done, Gumroad. You've done something cool here. But let's just see how this type of thing performs. And also, I'd love to hear what other people think of this. Did they go too far, or are you actually celebrating people who pushed boundaries in digital design, landing page conversion, etc.? Let me know. Cheers.